Okay, I'm here today with Miss Robin Williams with Big Brothers Big Sisters program. My name's Kenneth Hill. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you so much.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you some questions over Big Brothers Big Sisters program. First question I wanted to ask is, how is Big Brothers Big Sisters committed to serving youth in Greensboro?
Well, our mission is to match children facing adversity with positive adult role models. They can give them one-on-one attention and really, be there for them, be an unconditional friend, and is there on a consistent basis. So that's our commitment, and we will serve in Guilford County over 800 during the course of the year.
Okay, that's great. The next question I wanted to ask is, taking the role of the mentor deals with serving and helping others. How impactful is this method between both the mentor and the youth?
It's very impactful. I've been here a long time, and I've seen the individual children benefit. And we've gathered data here locally and nationally that it tells you that children that have a consistent positive role model in their life, they do better. They have better performance in school. They have better behaviors, better relationships with family members and friends. They learn to make better choices because someone is always modeling positive behaviors for them.
Okay. The next question I wanted to ask is, how long has Big Brothers Big Sisters chapter in Greensboro operated, and how is the success in the nonprofit measured?
Okay. We have been in place here in Greensboro since April 1988. Prior to that, there was a local program called Bbbs3, and nationally, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around since 1904. How we measure success, it's evolved over the years. It used to be that people would say, how many children did you match? And we'd say 400, and they say, wonderful. Well, now they say, well, how do you know it's really impacting their life? And so we have to do gather what are called outcomes. We have to conduct surveys. We have to survey teachers so they can say, are you seeing changes in their behaviors, their academic performance, their social skills? We talk to parents, we gather information, and we talk to volunteers. And we either gather information from the children themselves about how this program is impacting their lives.
Okay. And the next question I wanted to ask is, how many youth in Greensboro are typically involved with the Big Brothers Big Sisters program?
Well, since our merger, we serve in Guilford County, and I can tell you last year we served a total of 831 children, and our goal this year is to serve 900. Right at this point, I think there are 155 in Greensboro, and the rest are matched in our school-based program in the High Point community. We're always opening new matches. That means we're introducing a new young person to their mentor, and we're closing matches because our children move, volunteers move. A lot of our college students graduate. They may have been a wonderful volunteer for 3 years while they're in college, but they're graduating and moving on, so those matches will close.
Okay, and the next question I wanted to ask is, does the Big Brothers Big Sisters program see it as more of a service learning program or a community service?
Well, we had many years viewed it as performing community service, but as we've evolved through the years and our institutions, our schools, our colleges, our high schools are realizing the service learning component is not just about giving back to the community, but you as an individual have the opportunity to learn. So I think we've evolved in that way, that it is a service learning opportunity for many individuals, but of course it's giving back to the community. So I don't know if I have a good answer for you. I'd say it's a little bit of both.
Okay. And I see that in Big Brothers. The next question I want to say is, how long have you personally been involved with the organization?
Okay. Well, I came to Greensboro in late '87, and I started as a volunteer at a local program. The light just went out. We're still good? That led to me becoming an employee with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and that was my first day was July 14th, 1988. So I've been here a couple of days.
Okay. So you've been here for a while.
Yeah, a couple of days.
All right.
Maybe before you were a twinkle in your mother's eyes.
Okay, the next question I wanted to ask is, what effects have you seen among the Big Brothers Big Sisters and the youth that they build relationships with?
Well, I've actually seen thousands of young people through the years, and some stand out or are more, kind of imprinted in your memory. But I've seen children that are really impacted and have a lifelong relationship. I've seen children where their big encourage them to go to college. I've seen children that have experienced abuse or loss, and their big has been there for them to be a champion and just a supporter of them. So young lives are so often changed, and each one's just a little different, but really it makes a wonderful impact on their lives. And I know that the volunteers' lives are enriched by the experience.
Okay, that's understandable. And the next question I wanted to ask is, what specific events are held and how impactful are these said events for Big Brothers?
We tell our volunteers we don't want them spending a lot of money. It's not about spending money, it's about spending quality time. So we really encourage them to do a lot of free and low cost activities. But having said that, we have other opportunities. We have a partnership with Texas Roadhouse here in Greensboro, where once a month 8 of our matches can go out and eat at no cost. We get tickets. We had some circuits tickets. Earlier this year, the National Figure Skating Championship. Last year, we got 65 tickets to the Michael Jackson Circus LA show. It was just a new experience. Just a couple of weeks ago, some of our kids in the High Point community got to go to a special performance of the Harlem Globetrotters on the campus of High Point University. It turns out one of their graduates from last year is now playing with the Globetrotters, and he was able to arrange that just for our children. So we're always looking for community support. We'll take some to some of the Grasshopper games. So we want to create fun, safe, healthy experiences for children, but we don't want the burden of who's going to fund that to fall on the backs of our volunteers, because they're already giving the gift of their time.
Okay, that is understandable. The next question I wanted to ask is, how does Big Brothers Big Sisters incorporate service learning into their program?
Well, as I said, we've always considered performing community service, but we have folks reaching out to us, high school students, we have college students. Well, just a couple of summers ago, we had a group through the Volunteer Center here in Greensboro, a group of middle school students that came over a number of days each day in the summer. They actually worked with a Guilford County teacher that talk about different things going on, to learn about our community, to learn about poverty and the food deserts and whatnot. And as part of their service learning, they actually went out and talked to other businesses and were able to get $1,000 worth of back to school supplies for our children. And many of our children, that's a challenge. So that's one opportunity we worked with. But if a young person comes to us, if a college student says, I want this to be part of our service learning opportunity, we're always willing to work with them. But we say, we don't want you to do service learning for 20 hours. You need to make a year's commitment, because many of these children have had people in and out of their lives. So if you're prepared to make the year's commitment, even if you fulfill that service learning requirement, then we'll work with you.
That's understandable. And the last question I wanted to ask you, Ms. Williams, is what has made or influenced your decision to be a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters organization?
I have been here a long time, and there have been periods when I don't work as directly with the families, but right now, because we're short-staffed, I am working more directly to prepare children for program participation. So by going out to visit them, to interview their families, I just love that. I love knowing that we're going to do something that's going to enhance or enrich a child's life, because so many of our children are in circumstances that have challenges through no fault of their own, because they're children. And it's nice to be able to make things better, to give them a champion, to give them a role model.
That's understandable. That's all the questions I have for you today, Ms. Robin Williams.
Thank you. Feels like deja vu.